Hi, it's me again, Mrs. Smith. Hello, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to session number 6. And this session is focusing on, as it says on the screen, evaluation of the Stanford Prison Experiment, conformity to social rules. So let's make a start. You do love a good PEEEL, and the only way you're going to get better with your AO3 peeling is by practicing. So there will be a point where you're going to do some practicing, but I'm going to do a few with you. I'm going to talk you through. And remember, when you do the peel, it's about being clear and precise, not repeating yourself, and making sure every element of the eel links to your point. So it's really important. So let's make a start. Point: lack of empirical support for Zimbardo study. Nice, clear point. Now explain. We've got to explain what the point means. A replication of the Stanford prison experiment contradicts the findings of Zimbardo. We'd get rid of all the waffle. Make it clear. What does it mean, lack of empirical support for Zimbardo study? A replication contradicts. Now we want the evidence. We want some research to back up what we're saying. Reich and Haslam replicated Zimbardo's research by randomly assigning 15 men to the role of prisoner or guard. In this replication, the participants did not conform to their social roles automatically. Nice, clear point. Elaborate. What does the evidence tell us in relationship to the point? This was seen by the guards not identifying with their status and refused to impose their authority. The prisoners identified as a group to challenge the guards' authority, which resulted in a shift in power and a collapse of the prison system. So really, they found something quite different to what's Zimbardo. But the elaboration is explaining what the evidence is telling us. Now we want an evaluate. An evaluate could be in further support or something it challenges it. However, this difference could be explained due to a cultural difference, as Zimbardo's research was carried out in the USA and Reich and Haslam in the UK. So we got a nice little evaluate, thinking, well, this could have been the cause. There could be cultural differences here. Let's finish off this lovely P with an L, a link. Link, in essence, is kind of making a mini conclusion and tying it all together. These results clearly contradict the findings of Zimbardo and suggest that conformity to social roles may not be automatic as Zimbardo originally implied. Right, so here we've got a nice strong peel. It's not about repeating yourself, it's about being clear and precise. Here comes our next peel. Zimbardo's experiment has been heavily criticized for breaking many ethical guidelines. Nice, clear point. So again, we can see this is a limitation, it's breaking the guidelines. Now we want to be able to explain what that means. What guidelines did he break? Particularly the ethical issue of protection from harm. We're clearly explaining the guideline he is making. We want some evidence. Now, in this case, our evidence is going to be an example from the actual research itself. 5 of the prisoners left the experiment early because of their adverse responses to both physical and mental torment. Some of the guards reported feelings of anxiety and guilt as a result of their actions during the experiment. Now we've got the evidence. Yes, it comes from the original study, but it's still our evidence. So a nice example. Now, elaborate. How does that evidence apply to the point that's getting made? Although Zimbardo followed the ethical guidelines of the Stanford University, and debriefed his participants afterwards, he acknowledged that the study should have been stopped earlier due to the harm it caused. So we've explaining that it did break the ethical guidelines. Now we want a little evaluate. Remember, in further support or it challenges. These could have been prevented if Zimbardo did not play the role as the warden, but as senior researcher and taking on board those responsibilities. Remember, Zimbardo was playing, he got caught up in the social role of the warden. This probably wouldn't have happened if he kept being what he should have been, the senior researcher, and taking on all those responsibilities and roles. Link, let's tie it all together and make a mini conclusion, therefore clearly showing that being caught up in the social roles affected Zimbardo's behaviour and allowed for the ethical guidelines to be broken. So we're making a little conclusion, a little summary of what it's all been telling us. It's not repeating the point. The link isn't repeating the point. Ooh, here comes the third one. Point. A strength of the Stanford prison experiment is the level of control. It was a laboratory experiment, so it's going to have a good level of control. Let's explain what it means. There was many areas in which the research controlled its variables. So there was many areas that there was control. So that's a good thing. Let's bring in a little bit of evidence. Again, we're bringing it in from the study itself because we're evaluating the study. We don't need to bring in evidence from other pieces of research. This is especially evident with the selection of the participants due to the pre-selection tests. Remember, they went through a battery of physical and psychological tests to make sure that they are psychologically and physically healthy, as well as how the participants were randomly allocated to the two roles. So again, we've got the evidence from the study. Elaborate, explain this evidence in relationship to the question. This allowed for individual differences, for example, personality, not to influence which role they would be allocated to. We're explaining, because of the random allocation, we don't know who's going here, rather than saying, actually, well, that person's quite authoritarian, that person's rather strict, we'll make them guard. So we didn't have any of that. Evaluate. Furthermore, it allowed for them to measure how their behavior was influenced by the situation, not their dispositional characteristics. So again, this evaluation is in further support. This is what else it allowed them to do. Link. This overall increases the internal validity of the research. What we're saying, what makes the research stronger? Remember, internal validity deals with what's happening inside the study. So there we've got 3 nice PEEELs. Now, you know what's coming. Your task using your PEEL skills, I'm giving you an exam question, and I'd like you to email me your answer, but you're not allowed to use the evaluation that are in the PowerPoint. You're not allowed to use these evaluations that are in the PowerPoint. It's important that you choose one of the other ones and you PEEL. So here's your question. Describe one evaluation of research into social roles. Now, we've got one study into social roles, and that's Zimbardo, so that's your research. It's worth 6 marks. It's one evaluation, so that means we need a full PEEL. Point, explain, evidence, elaborate, evaluate, link to get you those 6 marks. Really important. So remember, think about your point, make it clear and precise, get rid of the waffle. Explain what the point means. Evidence, we want evidence to back up the point. Elaborate, explain how that research backs up the point. Evaluate in further support or something that challenges it. It could even be some research methods that you can highlight that further makes it a stronger piece of research, or it challenges it. And then link. Link is your concluding sentence. It's not about repeating the point, it's the concluding sentence. Right, I am looking forward to getting all those by Friday the latest. Work well.